Welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about Diablo like dungeon generator. In this video we are going to build a simple logic that allows us to sequence our level. For instance, I want my level 1 to be to have that kind of metrics like 5 tiles. The level 2 I want it to have 7 tiles and 2 additional tiles. The level 3 I want it to have a replacement tiles, etc, etc. So the first thing we can do to set up our metrics is to select our level generator, open it up, and then go to our metrics folder and just promote everything to be public and make every variable public. And then you can hit compile, hit save, go to the map, to the scene, and then select your level generator, and on the left you can see you have all the metrics we set up, and you can change them here. So if I specify I want 5 tiles, it's going to tell me it failed to spawn the 4-way, but if I say I want 15 tiles, it's going to spawn them. So I can actually change the metrics of my level, of the level generator which is in the scene. And if you go from a map to another in your game, for instance, I can create a new level, make this the level 2, go there, and then add a bunch of lights like this, add maybe a sky sphere like that, and then I want my level, I want a level generator in there, and I want the generator to be located at 0, 0. I can set up the metrics. I want 20 tiles and I can hit play, and like this I have another layout. So you can navigate from a level to another and put down a level generator with custom metrics in there. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it will be to store all the variables you want, to create a structure that holds all of these variables, and swap, actually load them. So we're going to do that. We're actually going to do that. So we're going to create a new folder first, which is going to be level metrics. We're going to go there and we're going to create 4 structures. The first one is going to be S layout metrics. The second one S level tiles, tile metrics, and then we're going to recreate that. We're not going to create something for the loops, we don't care about that. We're going to create a new structure which is going to be S level metrics. Then we're going to open up layout metrics and tile metrics, and we're going to create, I'm going to move my level generator window on my other screen, and we are going to create variables in our structures for each of the variables in our folders. So for the layouts we have a vector, then we have an int, another int, and another, and 3 others. And then we have a float, and then we have a start tile direction, and I move that to like that. I need another direction, and I need a boolean for the additional tiles like that. So we're going to name them tile size, then what is it, generic tile amounts, like that. Then we get additional tile amounts, then we get corridors to end, and then min cells to start, max consecutive corridors, and then max extra connections. And I think we got one, I forgot one integer, I believe. So generic tile amount, additional tile amount, corridors to end, min cells to start. So we have min cells to start to add there, like that. I forget that. Then this is the step back chance. Then this is the start tile direction, the end tile direction, and B connect additional tiles like that. Then the tiles matrix, it's going to be generic tiles. So we're going to have a bunch of generic tiles like that. Then we're going to have a bunch of replacement tiles like that, not like that. So we actually made our replacement tiles an array of tile in order to spawn any tile we want as replacement tiles, but that's actually unfortunate. We actually want background tiles, replacement tiles in there, and in there we want background tiles, I suppose. So we want to say that we have replacement tiles, then we have forced tiles, like that. Then we have start tile, like that, end tile, and background tiles. And we're going to name them generic tiles, replacement tiles, force tiles, and it's going to be good for that, for these metrics. And then we're going to go in our content browser, we're going to open up our level metrics, and we're going to say in there are two variables. One is the layout metrics, and the other one is the tile metrics, like that. And we're going to call that layout, and that is going to be tiles. We're going to put there default variables in order for the level generator to work properly. So I'm just going to, we're going to copy paste the values we got in our tiles arrays in there. So we're going to copy generic tiles and paste that in there. Same thing for our replacement tiles. We do not want any tiles by default. Force tile as well. And start tile, we need the default variables for that. As we're going to try for the background tiles, I'm afraid it might not work. Oh, it worked. It might not work because I was afraid it might not work because of the fact that this is an array of tile and this is an array of background tile. But apparently Unreal managed to just convert one type to another since they are child of the same classes. So we have default variables. We want these to be random by default, and we want to copy paste our we want to use some base metrics. So our tile size is 2 and 2500. Generic tile amounts, we're going to set this up quickly. We want 1 corridor to end, we want 8 tiles, we want 3 minimum steps to start, we want 2 maximum corridors, 3 extra connections, 30% step back chance, we want 10 tiles actually, and we don't want to connect additional tiles, like that. And I actually want to just go to our function that selects what type of tile to spawn, get matching tile class. In here we say if we are trying to get an additional tile, we are looking for generic tiles, and I'm not sure that's what I want. Well, we'll let this be. So we have our level metric setup. Now we are going to build up a simple data sheet. So we're going in our miscellaneous data table, we're going to create a new data table. It's asking for a structure, and what do we want here? We want level metrics. We want to create that data table. It's going to be dt levels. We're going to open that up, create this, and then add a new row and another one. The first row is going to be level 1. The second row is going to be level 2. We're going to hit save, and then we're going to say the first level has only 5 tiles, no additional tiles, no corridors to end tiles, a minimum cells to start equal to 0. We don't care. Max consecutive corridor only 1. Max extra connection only 2. No step back chance. We're going to say that, and we're going to let the level 2 aside. It has the default value we entered in our structure. So like this. And so in this data table we have 2 levels, but we still need to store them. So we're going to create a new function which is going to be called extract level metrics. In there we're going to say we get the data table row names. We want the levels. We want to loop through the levels. And for each level we want to get the data table that corresponds to that level, like that. And we want to break the level metrics, and we actually just want to promote that to a variable, delete that. That variable is going to be an array of, and it's going to be called level metrics. We're going to put that in our references folder. We want to grab that, get that. We want to add the row we found to our list of level metrics, like that. We're going to hit compile, hit save. And then we just want to call that function at the beginning of the game, like that, because data table are static values. These values are not going to change at runtime, so we can just do it once, extract the metrics once at the beginning of the game. And then what do we want to say? We're just going to create a simple boolean. So this is going to be a boolean, and it's going to be called b use data table, like this. And then we're just going to say we're going to promote that to a new folder. We're going to move that to a folder, data table. We're going to duplicate that, and we're going to call the new function we created set metrics from data table, like that. And then we're going to say we're going to grab the level metrics. We're going to get a copy of that. We're going to promote the index to a variable. This is going to be current level. We're going to move that to the folder data table as well as use data table. We're going to hit save. Current level is going to be 0 by default. Actually, it's going to be 1 by default, and we're just going to reduce 1 in here. So we start at level 1, but it's getting the index 0 in the array. We want to break the values. We want to break that, and we want to set every metrics we have. So this is going to be a bit long, but we're going to do that quickly. So like that. Start tile direction, end tile, connect additional tiles. So we are actually going to set all of these variables from the data table, and it's going to allow us to create a bunch of levels that are going to cycle. We're going to cycle through our levels when we hit plus, instead of just spawning new level with the same metrics whenever we press plus. So we're going to link all of them all together like that. Hopefully we do not have too many metrics. Sometimes you get to do that for a lot of variables, and it's getting a bit out of hands. So we want to then plug all of these set nodes to the variables of our data table. So like that. We're just going to make sure we do not make any mistakes by connecting one variables to something it should not be connected to. That's why I made the effort to put all of them in the same order. So I want to break the tile metrics of our data table. I want to plug all of that like this. I want to hit compile. I want to hit save. So now we have a function that actually loads the information from it extracts and stores the information from the data table, and then in here we get the information we stored and we set the metrics of our level. So we still need to call that function, and I think we need to call that when we actually generate the level. We reset it, then we generate the layouts. When we generate the layout, we are actually resetting it, but this should not be. So these are only temporary variables, so we do not care. When we generate the level, we are going to ask, are we using the data table? We're going to call that use level board. If not, it's just going to generate the layouts. If it's using the level board, we're going to increment the current level, and we're going to make that 0 by default. So we are incrementing the current level. We are going to set the metrics from the data table, and then we are going to generate the layout like that. So if I hit compile, hit save, this is unchecked by default, so if I'm hitting play, it's just going to generate layouts over and over. Okay, if I'm going back, then if I'm checking that box, it's going to generate level 1, and then if I hit enter, it's going to generate level 2, and then if I hit enter, it's going to not generate anything, because we actually looped through all the levels we recorded in there. So we're just going to build a simple logic that says that whenever we increase our current level function variable, we're going to promote that to a function. This is going to be called cycle level, and we're going to move that in our data table folder. We're going to go there, and we're going to say, is current level greater than. So we're going to move our level metrics to our data table folder. We're going to grab that. We're going to get the last index, and we're going to say, is the current level greater than our last index? If so, current level is going to be 0, like that. And this is just going to loop through our list of levels forever. So maybe you don't want that in your game. Obviously, maybe you want your game to have an end. So you might want to build a simple logic in here that basically checks if it's the end of the level of the game, and if it is the end of the game, maybe you spawn a victory screen or whatever. But when we try out our prototype, we actually want our level to... Oh, so it's not working. Why is it not working? So when we do that, it's supposed to spawn. So I think I just misstep. So if I'm doing this like that, so is current level greater than the last index? Okay, so that's because of I think I need to ask greater than length like this. I need to hit play, hit enter. So I need to ask, is it... So that's strange. I'm not sure what's not working in there. Okay, so when we cycle the level, if we use the level board, we are actually cycling through the levels, so we increment that. So I just need to check where we are using this. So we get the current level -1. So we need to make this, okay, when we reset the level, we need to make this 1. And we need to ask, is the level is greater than the length? And I suppose it should do the trick. Yep, like this. So we are cycling through level 1 and then level 2. And then if you can add another level. You don't need to call that anything. I can call this, I don't know, Crypt of the Dark Lord. We do not care. We can say this is 25 tiles long. We can say we have 1 4 tile in the middle of the dungeon, which is going to be a 4-way. And we want 1 replacement tile, which is going to be our 4-way. We're going to hit save, and we're going to go to our level 3. Like this, we have our tile. And we also have another tile. So that's because the level is really long, and it generated 2 corridors in 2 4-way. So we can make that not happen, but just saying there are no extra connections, I believe. Like that, but that wasn't a bug. So this is how you can cycle through your levels and build a simple level progression logic. So I hope this is going to wrap up that video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.